Welcome to another episode of Continuous Improvement, where we explore key tools and strategies that can drive efficiency and innovation in any industry. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most powerful tools in quality control and process improvement, that is known as Design of Experiments, or DOE. We'll not only break down the theory, but also give you real-world examples to show how DOE can be a game changer in your organization. So, what exactly is design of experiments? Well, simply put, DOE is a structured, systematic method for determining the relationships between factors affecting a process and the output of that process. It helps identify which variables impact a certain outcome, how they interact, and what the optimal settings are to achieve the best results. But enough with the textbook definition. Let's take a step back and look at practical examples to see DOE in action. Let's start with a real-world example from manufacturing. Suppose you work for a company that produces bolts. You want to optimize bolt production to improve quality while reducing costs. Let's say your key concern is the tensile strength of the bolts and you suspect that the material composition and forging temperature are influencing this outcome. In this scenario, you'd run a DOE to determine the best combination of these factors. You could set up an experiment where you vary the forging temperature and the composition of the alloy. Using DOE, you systematically test different combinations of these factors, and while keeping other variables constant. The outcome? You discover that increasing the carbon content by 1% and maintaining the temperature at 900 degrees Celsius produces bolts with optimal tensile strength. Without DOE, you might have spent months using trial and error, or worse, never optimized process. DOE helps you quickly and efficiently pinpoint the key factors that drive your production quality, saving both time and material costs. Imagine the competitive edge this gives you in a fast-paced manufacturing environment. Now you might be wondering about the specifics. How do you actually set up such an experiment? Well, it all begins with a clear objective and a hypothesis. In this case, the hypothesis could be that increasing the carbon content and adjusting the forging temperature will significantly influence the tensile strength of the bolts. To test this, the experiment is designed as a factorial experiment, which means all possible combinations of levels of factors are tested. You could have 3 levels of carbon content, low, medium and high, and perhaps 3 different temperatures, low, medium and high. This setup allows you to not only observe the effect of each factor on its own, but also how they interact with each other. It is these interactions that often hold the key to the groundbreaking improvements in product quality. After conducting the experiments and analyzing the data using statistical tools like ANOVA, the results clearly indicate the optimal conditions for manufacturing. This evidence-based approach replaces the guesswork with precision and opens the door to scaling these findings across multiple production lines. Fascinating, isn't it? How a methodological approach can revolutionize a traditional process. But the power of DOE isn't limited to the manufacturing floor. Let's shift gears and talk about another scenario, this time the realm of research and development. Imagine you are on the brink of a sustainable innovation, but you need to fine-tune your process to make it viable. In the pharmaceutical industry, developing a new drug formulation can be as complex as it is critical. Companies invest millions in identifying compounds that can effectively treat diseases without adverse side effects. Let's consider a pharmaceutical company that's experimenting with different combinations of active ingredients and excipients. By the way, excipients are the substances that help deliver the medication into a patient's system. For example, the company might want to determine the optimal blend that maximizes efficacy while minimizing side effects. Using DOE, they set up an experiment where they vary the proportions of each active ingredient and test different types of excipients at various dosages. The DOE approach here allows the researchers to systematically explore the effects and interactions of these components. They might discover, for instance, that a certain combination not only enhances the drug's effectiveness, but also reduces the side effects significantly compared to traditional formulations. It is here that DOE proves indispensable, providing a clear, data-driven path through the maze of possible combinations. The insights gained from such experiments can lead to more effective treatments, speeding up the approval process with regulatory bodies, and getting vital medications to the market faster. This kind of experimentation can be transformative, not just for the company, but for the entire field of medicine, creating new best practices for the drug development. But let's not stop here. What about using DOE to tackle challenges outside of a lab setting? In a fast-paced environment like healthcare delivery? Stay tuned as we explore this in our next segment. Turning now to a pressing issue in healthcare, emergency room operations. Emergency departments are often the busiest parts of a hospital, where efficiency and time management are crucial not only to patient satisfaction but also to patient outcomes. Let's see how DOE can be used to streamline operations and reduce patient wait times. Consider a busy hospital struggling with long wait times in its ED. Administrators believe that the number of staff on duty, the efficiency of triage procedures, and the method of patient flow management are key factors affecting wait times. Using DOE, they design an experiment to test different levels of staffing, triage procedures, and flow management techniques under various conditions. By carefully controlling and varying these factors, the experiment reveals that a specific combination of a slightly increased staff count, a streamlined triage process, and a new patient flow protocol significantly reduces wait times. This optimized combination not only improves patient throughput and also enhances the overall patient experience by reducing stress and potentially improving outcomes. This example underscores the impact of DOE beyond manufacturing and R&D. It's equally powerful in service-oriented settings like healthcare, where outcomes are directly linked to operational efficiency. It shows that even environments perceived as unpredictable, such as emergency rooms, can benefit from systematic experimentation and analysis. Agriculture is a sector where precision and efficiency translate directly into economic viability and sustainability. Farmers constantly face challenges like changing weather conditions, soil variability, and the need for efficient resource use. Let's explore how DOE helps in achieving higher crop yields with optimal resource management. Imagine a farmer growing soybeans who wants to maximize yield while minimizing fertilizer and water use. The farmer sets up a DOE to test different combinations of irrigation levels, fertilizer types, and soil treatments across various plots. This structured approach allows the farmer to identify not only the most effective individual factors, but also how these factors interact with each other across different soil types and weather conditions. The results might show that a lower volume of water combined with a slow-release nitrogen fertilizer maximize yields in sandy soils, but not in clay soils, where a different approach is needed. These insights enable the farmer to tailor their practices to specific conditions of each field, enhancing yield while conserving resources. This is a prime example of how the DOE facilitates smarter, more sustainable farming practices that are crucial in the era of climate change and resource scarcity. Throughout today's episode, we've seen how the design of experiments isn't just an academic exercise, it's a vital tool in the real world. From optimizing both production to streamlining drug development, enhancing emergency room efficiency, and optimizing agricultural practices, DOE helps professionals across industries make informed, data-driven decisions. Whether you are an engineer, a healthcare manager, a researcher, or a farmer, incorporating DOE into your problem-solving toolkit can lead to significant improvements in both process and product. It's all about asking right questions, setting up the right experiments, and interpreting the data in ways that lead to actionable insights. Thank you for joining Continuous Improvement. We hope today's dive into design of experiments inspires you to think differently about the challenges you face in your work. Don't forget to press subscribe and tune in next time for more insights and strategies to help you continuously improve.